Good morning, all you beautiful people. How are you this morning? Happy Monday morning. Put a 5 in the chat if you got some snow on the ground where you're at. Put a 5 on the chat if you still got some snow on the ground. I tell you what, we got 2 weekends in a row. How is it on the weekends? That's crazy. We had Ice Mageddon last weekend and Snow Mageddon this weekend. South Carolina's not used to that, but we had fun. We had a good time. Hope everybody's doing good today. My name is Chad Free. I'm not free, but I'm reasonable. That's what my dad always said. And I'm a wealth strategist. I believe true wealth is an abundance of everything that you value. And I also believe true wealth is built from the inside out. And I'm just super thankful for this life that God's given me and my family and this opportunity to speak to you all every week and be a part of this community. So thank y'all. Thank y'all for allowing me. I see Jada right. Well, I see everybody on here, but I haven't seen Jada in a minute. Jada, I'm glad you joined me and come back on and say hey to your boy, your hometown boy. Good to see you. Fred, John, Fran, Brock, everybody. Good to see y'all this morning. So before we get started, you know what we do on Mondays. Let's start with our affirmations. And if you really believe it, I want you to come off of mute and I want you to harmonize and just let everybody hear that beautiful harmonic voices on the count of 3. Let's say this together. 1, 2, 3.
I am created on purpose for a purpose. And you are created on purpose for purpose.
Isn't that beautiful? Goodness, we got some bass, we got tenors, we got all kind of stuff. Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing good this morning. I'm excited to be here with you. And, I want to talk about something that I truly believe in. I believe everybody's got a next step to become better. Everybody has a next step in their life to become better. And for those who that think they have arrived, I added a little piece to that. Even the best can become better. Yes or yes, Brock? Look, Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan, all of those guys, they wasn't perfect. They still had a next step to become better. They did. A lot of people think just because Michael Jordan was the GOAT, and he was, we won't even argue that. Let's just go ahead and put it out there. If you're younger than what would it be, Jay? Younger than 25, you might want to argue, but outside of that, okay, I ain't talking to you. Anyway, Michael Jordan was the GOAT, but he still could have become better. He had things in his life to become better because guess what? There's 4 parts of our nature. We've got our mind, we've got our heart, we've got our spirit, and our body, right? Skills. If we ignore one of those, you've heard me say it before, it's like a flat tire, right? On a car, you got a Corvette, that thing's fast, but if you got a flat tire, it'll still go, but you're going to tear things up. You can completely ignore it, but it's not going to run as efficient. Let me tell you something. Everybody's got a next step in some part of their life to become better. And I would challenge you to spend time to yourself and do some introspection and ask God, where can I become better? What is my next step? Show me. A lot of us focus on knowledge and skills. But if we ain't looking down deep into our spirit and our heart, then when we get knocked down, we have no desire to get back up quickly. But when you operate from that confidence in the spirit, that feeds the desire to your heart. And you know you've got a calling on your life and a mission, and you were called to get in the game and not sit on the sideline and expect crumbs to shake out in your favor. Man, it's a different way to live. It really is. That's why I start this out with, you are created on purpose for purpose. Now, when we was up in Nashville, I was telling people, my calling is to believe in you so much that maybe you will start believing in yourself. That's it. You have to. God didn't make mistakes. He sure didn't. What was that I said the other day? I think I heard it from somebody, so I'm not going to take credibility for it or credit for it, but it was good. Your parents might have thought you was an accident, but you're not a mistake. I thought that was funny. I don't know if y'all laugh at that. That's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. But listen, you've got a next step. Everybody's got a next step to become better. And here's the thing, that next step has a cost. It does have a cost. Or are you willing to pay for not taking that next step? Because there are opportunity costs, and that's something that we're going to talk about today, and why you must take a look at what happens if I don't take my next step. Because I can tell you right now that there might be 3 generations down from you that is waiting on you to take that next step in your life. Truth. So back in the day, you've heard some of my dojo and my mixed martial arts stories. And yeah, a lot of them's funny. And man alive, I got a lot of my stage stories from that time that I really had no business doing that. I just wanted to stay in shape. I wanted to learn a little something. And that's all I want to do. I didn't want to go out here and compete in the octagon, right? But our sensei, he had this small group of people, and I was one of them, that made it to his fight club, right? And he wanted to show us off to all the people that he kind of grew up in the martial arts with. And so anyway, there's several stories I can tell you about those later on. But one of the things that happened is how my time was ended at the dojo. I had spent almost 4 years there. I was that far from being a black belt. I pretty much was a black belt as far as experience, but I had not done the final couple of things that, check the boxes. Okay. And so this was a time in my life where my kids were just starting to get old enough to play sports. Baseball, football, and all of that. Well, I'd already made my mind up when I was younger that, hey, when I have kids, I'm going to coach their teams. I'm going to get in there and I'm going to love on all them little boys and girls, if it was co-ed T-ball. And I just want to show them. It's been in me for a long time. Show them that they've got greatness inside of them. Well, here comes a time that can't remember. I guess it was Clayton. Yeah. It seemed like there was a time where both of them, I had the opportunity to coach both of them. But anyway, the time came and I had to share with my sensei, hey, look, baseball season's coming up, or football season. I can't remember when it was. I'm going to be coaching my kids. So I might I might not be here at every class. Wednesday morning class, I will be here every time. We had a 10 a.m. Wednesday morning class. That was my favorite class. Well, anyway, Chad, go ahead. That's fine. We love you. Da, 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 da. Now, this guy, he is hardcore, and he'll flip on you in a minute. All right. So I began thinking that I did the right protocol. I told Sensei, I had a face-to-face with him. This is what I'm going to do. Are you okay with that? Yeah, Chad. Yeah, go. Well, about 4 weeks later, I get a call from my wife's cousin, who I started the martial arts classes with. He and I joined together. And we called him Shihan. That was his, not sensei. He was a sensei, but we called him Shihan. Shehan asked me to call you and said, just don't worry about coming back. I'm like, what? What does that mean? He was like, man, I don't know. I hate that I had to do it, but he wanted me to do it. He made me do it. Look, guys, we're 30-something-year-old grown men. And I understand tradition and I understand all of that. But number one, I'm paying you. Right? I'm paying him. And he asked me not to come back. Well, here's the deal. Because I wasn't in class teaching the next, the classes in the evening, he kicked me out. See, there have been people prior to that have been kicked out, but they always come crawling back. And that they had a longer relationship than I did, with him and all that good stuff. But they always seem to find themselves coming back. Chad, where are you going with all this? Opportunity cost, guys. Had I stayed there to get that quick payoff of a black belt, could that cost me the opportunity to see my kid's first home run or their first touchdown? Something that was planted inside of me since I was a small cat, that one day when I'm a dad, I'm going to coach my kids. See, I wasn't sold out to martial arts. I enjoyed it, but it was fourth or fifth down on my list. My kids were up here. See, that would have been true opportunity cost for me had I stayed there to get that black belt. I even said, hey, drop me down to a white belt. I don't care, because these were I had grown to have a brotherhood there, but I wasn't going to come back under those pretenses. And guess what? I guess I was the first one that left, because none of those guys in the Fight Club, probably 5, 6, 7 years after that, every one of them were gone. I just wasn't going to do it. And thankfully, I was wise enough to realize that, because I'd have kicked myself had I done that. So that's another little story that I don't think I ever shared with you guys about that. Being in the in this financial business and being able to put together a bunch of wealth strategies, I really feel like I've seen just about all of them. I really have. Now I have a thirst for that knowledge because it's down in my soul, remember, and it gives me the desire to always learn more. And I do believe that I'm a student. I'm hungry, humble, and coachable. I always want to learn. I always want to be better. But in my mind, I really thought that I had seen most all of advanced planning and high-end planning, because that's the space that I've kind of lived in. And it was just about 2 weeks ago that a whole new set of doors have opened up for me. And it's literally blown my mind. I've gotten so excited again that I've actually lost some sleep over it, because I'm going to be able to go back to my existing clients and show them how I can amplify their financial picture without them literally changing anything, just by repositioning and redirecting some of the things that we've already got in place for them. So I'm super excited about that. Everybody has a next step. Never get comfortable thinking that you have arrived. I say that Becca Black has a wonderful, and I don't know him, I wish I knew him right off the bat, but ego. Don't edge God out. Sometimes when you edge God out, you exit great opportunities. So it's super, super important. Super important. So I also want to say a little something, and I'm going to put him on the spot. I hope he don't mind, but John Hart and I have been like this since my whole revolution, I'll call it. Since that time that I found myself in a fetal position on my closet floor, completely broken, literally broken every sense of the imagination. And that's where I heard God say, I created you on purpose for a purpose. See, my heart had to break for my eyes to be open and for him to do something new inside of me. And one of the first people that I called was John Hart, because he was one of the advisors that I supported in his planning and by building some of these financial models. When I lost that opportunity, I called him up because he's just got this presence about him. He truly is a human being, not a human doing. He cares about people. And he reached out his hand and he said, hey, I want you to come to Tennessee. And that's when he introduced me to my coach. That's when things just started changing. That's when I started really crystallizing my calling and walking in a certain direction that I knew and I was confident about. You know, I'll say purpose is not a destination. It is literally a direction, and it's a daily direction. You know, time slows down. It literally, you're not in a race with anybody. You can't compare your chapter 2 to somebody else's chapter 10. And that's what got me in the position that I was in that fetal position, because I was comparing myself to my dad. And because I was not at the markers that he was at my age, I felt like I was living, I was losing. And I didn't even realize that. That was something that was ingrained inside of me, because success, I saw him and I saw success. And I was nowhere near that. But John Hart reached his hand out and he listened to understand me. And he truly wanted to be there for me. And from there, he has introduced me to almost every partner that I'm currently partnered with. Now, John is a great connector. John, give me a thumbs up if you're okay with me talking about you. I won't say nothing too bad. Okay. I just make sure. I didn't get you to sign nothing. You know what I mean? I didn't let you know. But anyway,
I always feel totally safe with you. Go for it.
All right. Thank you, John. Thank you. So this has been like 4 years now. And I think we originally sort of got together like I was going to be the face, because I like to run my mouth, right? And I like to get out here and get yayed up and be that marketing person, if you will. And then John would be kind of back here doing the connecting. Well, I want to brag on John, because not too long ago, he started having this internal desire that he wanted to do like a podcast. And I'm sure he started wrestling with it. I've never done that before. I don't have any kind of experience, but he started having this desire to do it. And he shared that with me. He shared it with me a little while back, but then he shared it again. And then again. That is something that I believe God's calling him to do. He believes it. And everybody's got that next step. So guess what? The Real Business Revolution is a podcast coming to you very, very soon. He and I are going to be tag teaming this. He is the group kind of, you know, more bigger business. We're going to do it for business owners and just kind of help people see where they're leaking money at. You know, we'll bring the cash flow control that I have and his expertise where these bigger companies have been, you know, losing money and there's leaks and people wonder, well, why can't I get ahead? We're turning good profit or gross and blah, 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 but our profits are not where they want to be. Well, we're gonna do that. Somehow we're gonna make it fun, aren't we, John? Somehow or another, we're gonna make it fun. And guess what else we talked about on Friday? I'm gonna be me. I said, John, I'm gonna be me. I'm not gonna get all prim and proper because I'm gonna be me. And you know what he said? He said, well, good. He said, because I don't know any way else to be than me. We're not going to worry about who we attract to that podcast. The people who are supposed to listen to that podcast will come to that podcast. We're not chasing anybody. Like Derek Green has said, we're willing to help anybody, but we're not for everybody. And that's for everybody on here. You have a niche, and as long as you are being your best self and not pretending to be anybody that you're not, and you constantly are conscious on what is my next step? What is my next step? And you're firm in your belief system. I believe everybody's created on purpose for a purpose. And there's two things that prevent people from ever thinking about their purpose, and that's their mindset and their money. And those are two things that I love helping people with. Because if I can help them experience a mindset revolution like I did, then you can experience a money revolution. You can be in control and not money be in control of you, and get off the hamster wheel and get off that addiction to hopium that you hope it all works out. You can take control, get clarity, and have confidence in your money. And so this whole talk kind of was leading up to what the announcement I just said, because I want to give a shout out to John, because that is out of John's, that's out of his character almost. But he's got that desire, and you've got to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere. And John will probably laugh, but when he said podcast, I said, what are you going to talk about, John? I said, you're going to talk? You're actually going to talk? I said that. I said, you going to talk? Well, yeah. I said, well, let's do it. I'll make it happen. I'll get my videographer. We're going to make it happen. And I promise you, I thought I was going to hear the beeper going off. No, he's right there. He's not backing out. And I'm super proud of him for that. All right, guys. I've run my mouth enough, but I just want to tell you, where is your next step in your life? It could be spiritually. It could be something that your knowledge. It could be something you're running from. A lot of people run from money. They don't want to look at it. That could be costing you. I told you I don't like needles, right? But I knew that shot is the only thing that gets me over my allergies. I can't stand needles. So I just had to grin and bear it. Even though I had to take a shot in my rear end. You can listen to a past episode about that. I thought it was going to go in my arm. I had it psyched up. Be a grown man. You the man. I'm a drama queen, not even a drama king when it comes to needles. And it's so embarrassing, guys. I tell you what, I break out in a cold sweat. It's just a big old, it literally is yes, it's a circus.
That can be one of our first podcasts, because I don't like needles either. We can share our needle stories.
See, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Whenever I go to the doctor, they always say, are you allergic to anything? And I go like, I'm only allergic to needles. And they always look like you like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah. Me too, John. Me too. So anyway, I'm super thankful for you. I'm glad to have this time with you. Y'all allow me to be me and just get yayed up and all that good stuff. But I want you, if anything you take from this, just be still. Take some time, get in the corner, whatever you need to do by yourself, no distractions. What is my next step to become better? What is my next step to become? Look here, I don't make no bones about it. To become who you want me to be, God. That's when you become fulfilled. That's when fulfillment starts happening. You ain't got to have a bank full of money or account full of money, whatever. But when you start becoming who you truly were created to be, let me tell you something, you are overflowing in your spirit, and that's true abundance. And that's what this world needs. They need to shift their mind from an abundant mindset, from a scarcity mindset to an abundant mindset. All right, guys, that's all I got. Anybody want to come off and make any remarks? Tell me, how crazy that sounded or what? Come on. I don't care. Let's go. Come on. Ask me a question. Anybody.
Besides the podcast and next steps, Chad, what would be your next steps that you are becoming for yourself? What are you doing, I guess, with the new month here? What are some of your next steps that you're doing so that way one is this group, this family can keep you accountable, and at the same token, you're going to inspire somebody else to take their next steps. Don't you love my questions? Don't you love when I just
Yeah, I do. I'll get you in the headlock later. No, I'll be honest with you. I want to help a lot of people who feel like they're those level 10 individuals, but they may be stuck inside of level 4 opportunities. I want to build an agency. I want to build a full-blown firm where I can bring people on and I can mentor them, help them, support them, even close business for them, because that's where I'm getting a lot of traction. Literally, I paid somebody. I'm just telling you this. I've paid one person right at $200,000, their part, helping one of their clients. Now, I did not say this from stage. This person was licensed in what we do. Okay. So you can't it's not just a normal referral fee for anybody. You had to get licensed. But folks who are like PNC and life licensed and all of that, I can partner up with them and bring advanced planning to them and brand ourselves to their firm. And we can help a lot of people by simply showing them things they don't know. And that's the thing that keeps me going, is because the financial industry, they keep this stuff from us. And it's really, really sad. They keep you wondering and what is this and what is that, and not understanding how it works. And that keeps people on the actual hamster wheel. So I'd like to have 10 to 12 preferred partners. I think I've got 4 right now. That I'm truly mentoring. I'm going narrow and deep on, and hopefully I can help change the trajectory of their life, but mentoring them holistically, not just in the business, but truly helping them live on purpose for a purpose.
I love it. I I wrote down this on something you said based off of like I was going to ask this question first, but when you started saying next steps, I really liked how you were presenting that, because How many of you on here are ready to take your next steps, but scared freaking out of your mind, not too sure, fear comes into play, all these just that. And that's why I appreciate Chad's vulnerability, is because like it doesn't matter what chapter you're on. It's scary in every chapter. Michelle's been really pushing me. I've started writing my next book. And part of it is your first decade of your life. Like those first baby steps you take, how many times do you fall down? I still haven't met any adult crawling because they're like, you know what, I just trying to walk seemed too hard and I kept falling down. So I just am crawling the rest of my life. No, we continue to pick ourselves up and to grow. And so, Chad, I appreciate your vulnerability because we all have some sort of fear. Like literally, I spent 2 hours this weekend trying to revamp my freaking schedule because I realized that I shit the bed, excuse my language, from 1 o'clock till 6 o'clock. Like I just can't figure it out. I'm like, what's wrong with me? And here I am telling people, oh, own your day, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, we have to take our next steps and it's scary. And sometimes you got to get a partner. You got to get somebody else. We used to call wingman in college. Like, I need a wingman for this. I'm going to talk to these girls. I need a wingman. And having you and John work together is a powerhouse couple. And that's why I put in the chat all. I don't know if you just read it, but Chad's like, he's looking for people. And that's why I said, who wants in? If anybody on here is exploring and learning and wanting to do something and be like, you know what, I want to get in the room with people like a Chad Free, there's your chance, all. So his information's on there. Call the guy and be like, hey, I'm thinking about some of my next steps and want to share with you. Maybe there's an opportunity. You don't know all until you freaking pick up the phone and you do something to it. So Chad, I loved your message today and your next steps. I thought it was really, really, it's got me thinking on some of the things that I have in my head, but you got to air it out and you got to tell other people. So thanks, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Brock. I appreciate it. Y'all know I got a one-track mind, so I can't say a lot of that, but I saw Goose come across there. I like that. Goose. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think it was Steve Clark that said that. All right, guys, listen, here's my last thing. You ready? Everybody's at A and they're trying to get to B. Don't stay at A in creation mode and wonder how do I do it? How do I do it? Who can help me do it? Sometimes you can't see the picture when you're stuck inside the frame, guys. Okay. And I got that from my coach, Coach Burt. I give him all the credit for that because he's made me realize that, hey, I'm hungry, humble, and coachable. And that's the only way that you're going to grow. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Be here tomorrow, Tuesday at 15. Brock the Rock. All right, guys. I will see you all later. Have a great one. Have a great day. Gone.